Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL segment, I'm going to be giving you my preview of the 2021-2022 NFL season. Now, as far as the AFC goes, I'm going to take Kansas City Chiefs to come out of the AFC. I believe they're unequivocally they're still the best team in the AFC. Now I know they got plastered in the Super Bowl, but they addressed that offensive line issue, which was obviously a big Achilles heel for them. And I think in this, as far as the AFC goes, they can still come out of that conference. And I'm talking about some of these. I'm talking about the other divisions and teams in the AFC. I think are going to make the postseason. Now, I do think the Tennessee Titans are going to actually go to the AFC title game and play Kansas City. Now, against the Tennessee Titans did acquire Julio Jones. They augmented their offense. They still have Derrick Henry. They have their nucleus of their offense still in place. Now, the Achilles heel for the Titans last season was their defense. They did allow like 27.4 points per game. They were like fourth worst in the NFL in scoring defense. But they added Bud Dupree, and he's going to help augment the pass rush for the Tennessee Titans. Now, we're talking about the division teams. I think I'm going to win. Will win the divisions in the AFC. Now, AFC East, I got Buffalo coming out of there. New England may actually be a dark horse. It just, I think they can get in as a wild card. Actually, you're going to have in the AFC North. I like the Cleveland Browns actually to come out of that division. Um, the AFC South, well, the Titans, I believe, will come out of there. Again, I do believe they will face the Chiefs in the AFC title game. And now the and of course the AFC West will be the Chiefs. And as far as the wild card teams go, now this makes this an unusual season because we're accustomed to having the 17 game schedule in the NFL, and we have we got 7 playoff teams. So the wild cards, I believe, I'm actually going to take New England as one wild card. It might be going a little out of the limb, but Mac Jones, even though it's a rookie, I mean it's a preseason. He had a phenomenal preseason, and you look at the Patriots now. Bill Belichick, it's very rare for him to go consecutive seasons without making the playoffs. Now, I don't think the Patriots are going to be like, they're going to start to become like that perennial contender again, like when Tom Brady was there. But when I say perennial contender, I mean, of course, for the title, for the Super Bowl. But they may be competitive this season. They have, and they made a lot. They mean very active in the draft, which may have been a little bit uncharacteristic for Bill Belichick, but they did have a very active draft. I do believe they will get in as a wild card. Now, another wild card I'm going to take will be the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. And the other one I'm going to take, I was a little torn on this, whether it be Pittsburgh or Indianapolis. And I'm actually, I'm going to go with I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to actually get in as a wild card. I know they struggled at the end of last season. I think Ben Roethlisberger may have something to prove a little bit that, the team that was floundering at the end of last season is not going to be that team. When it comes to this coming season, they're going to resemble maybe a little more like the team that started 11-0 last season. And another thing too is I'm going to go now to the NFC. Now the NFC may be is a little bit different. I mean, in terms of the competitive. As far as the teams being competitive, and maybe there's going to be a little bit more competition for the NFC title as opposed to the AFC. I mean, it seems like in the AFC, you have a strong consensus that are going to pick the Chiefs. Now, the NFC, a lot of people may actually pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come out of it. I don't know if they're going to be able to duplicate what they did last season. Now, Tom Brady's, another year older. He's 44. The thing about this is, I'm going to still take them. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's fairly safe to say. I'm going to go with them they're going to win that division in NFC South. In the NFC East, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys, of course, a lot of their success is going to be predicated on the health of Dak Prescott. Hopefully for them, he will be healthy during the course of the season, and they'll win the division. Now, in the NFC North, I'll go with the Green Bay Packers to win that. Aaron Rodgers, of course, he signed a new, for another year with them, and he definitely is going to be with them this season. I think the next thing I want to talk about, well, first of all, going back to the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers didn't make any, I don't know if they made any additions really, or any monumental additions. At least there's no key additions for the Packers this season. So I guess maybe the Green Bay Packers, their philosophy was, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And they went to the NFC title game last year, and that was with a defense that was really not exactly stellar. Now, they played fairly well in those last 4 or 5 games overall in the regular season. The Green Bay Packers actually, on defense, played very well, but they just didn't couldn't finish the deal. I'm actually going to take them reluctantly to come out of the NFC and face the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I will not sleep on the Packers at this point in time. They may not have the best defense, but I think it's going to be good enough just to get into the Super Bowl. This could be Aaron Rodgers' swan song with the Packers, and he wants to go out a winner with them. Now, another thing too, looking in the as far as the NFC. NFC South goes. Of course, I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints to win the division. Now, the NFC West, wow, that's going to be a dogfight. A lot of people are picking the Rams to win that division. I'm actually going to go out. I'm going to say it's going to be the Seahawks to get that division. And the wild cards in the NFC, well, wild card teams I'm going to take. Actually, I'll take Minnesota to be one of the wild cards in the. They'll get the wild card. They'll come in second place in the NFC North. And the other 2 wild cards, I'll take the Rams and Arizona come out in the NFC West to get the wild card spots. That NFC West is going to be loaded. Matthew Stafford, I think, there's a number of people, I believe that the Rams are going to come out of the NFC West. And it's no knock on the Rams. The Rams may very well be an improved team this season. But the thing about it is, keep in mind, their quarterback that they added, Matthew Stafford, now he's played very well. He's been an exceptional quarterback. But he has no playoff wins. I mean, for me to think, okay, that Matthew Stafford, okay, he goes to a new team, and all of a sudden he's going to win, maybe a few NFC playoff games, and then the Super Bowl, and not having any playoff wins going into the season, it just doesn't seem conceivable to me that that's going to happen. I'm not saying he can't win one game with the Rams, and I know it's a team effort. It's not just about the quarterback winning. But he still does not have, as a quarterback, any playoff victories. And he may get one this season, but I don't think he gets any more than that. I think the Rams are going to come in second in the NFC West, and Arizona comes in third. I think Arizona's going to be like 10-7. You're going to have the Rams be like 11-6, and Seattle, I'll say 12-5 for them. But the team, again, that's I think is going to come out of the NFC is going to be the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Super Bowl winner, I do like. I like Kansas City to get this done. I think it's going to be, their offensive line will overpower the defensive front for the pass rush for the Packers. I mean their the depleted offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, was exploited last season in the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to make amends in this Super Bowl, and they get the job done. Now, Patrick Mahomes had stated, I mean, he wants infallibility. He wants to go 17-0, go through the playoffs undefeated, and win the Super Bowl, which, of course, that would give, you're talking a 20-0 record for the regular season. They want to do something that even the Patriots with Tom Brady couldn't do. But of course, they had eluded the Patriots in 2008 when my New York Giants upset them in the Super Bowl. Hold on a moment, people. And I just want to add on some other notes. I want to incorporate my thoughts as well as far as the New York teams, since I'm from New York, and I talked about the Buffalo Bills, of course. I mean, I just mentioned them briefly winning. I believe they're going to win the AFC East. But of course, with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, you can't go wrong. They're going to collaborate for a number of completions this season, and I think the Bills might even be maybe better than they were last season, as long as they don't get complacent. And for me, as far as my New York Jets go, well, they're probably still in reclamation mode. Most people are probably picking them as a cellar dweller, being at the bottom of the division. They were like 2-14 last season. I don't know what's going to happen as far as Zach Wilson goes, and how he's going to do at quarterback for the Jets. The Jets have had like 35 quarterbacks, since Joe Namath, left the Jets, and who really knows? I mean, what's going to really happen? As far as them making any significant improvement this season, they added at least one edge rusher, and I just don't know if they've done enough to really, enhance their prospects this season. The Jets may go 5-11. Sorry, 5-12. It's 17 games, 17-game season now. Now the New York Giants, in my understanding, this is supposed to be a no excuse season for Daniel Jones, because now, I mean, the offensive line should be healthy for the whole season, but is it still going to be good enough to give him adequate protection? Now, they got somebody, and I don't know if I'm saying the last name right, Galloway, might be a marquee receiver for them, and somebody that could figure prominently on the offense, and that could give them, an elite receiver maybe for the first time since Odell Beckham Jr. left them. And we're going to see, and if Saquon Barkley actually remains healthy for the whole season, the Giants may actually compete in the NFC East for the title, maybe. But I don't think they're good enough to win the division. I think that's still Dallas's division to lose, but Dallas still will win that division basically by default, I believe. So basically, that's what I wanted to talk about as far as my preview for the 2021-2022 NFL season. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.